What's up, guys? In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why a handyman, a plumber, an electrician, a tradesman is able to charge nowadays just as much as a doctor, and in some days even more. If you're wondering, well, make sure you stick to the end. The perspective you're about to hear comes from a homeowner, somebody who didn't used to be a handyman, and that is myself. I started this line of work without any experience. I am self-taught. I taught myself how to do everything that I do without any mentorship. I didn't go to college for it because it's really not that complicated. And yet, here I'm making tons of money. And a lot of people are hating because, well, I make more money than they do. They went to college for a million years. They got a PhD in liberal arts, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. They get out making $20, $25 an hour for the rest of their lives. Then they see a handyman online making this much money, and guess what? They think it's not fair. So, with that said, let's get started with the reason number one. And that is, people do not want to use their hands to make money anymore. Yes, most people are lazy. And most people don't even want to sweat anymore. So that is the main reason why I'm able to charge as much as I do. Because people don't want to do the labor. It's hard. Or at least they think it's hard. To me, some days are hard, but most days are very easy. And I saw the opportunity, guys. I saw how much money handymen were charging. I saw how hard it was to get somebody to even show up at your house. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. Instead of hating the game, I joined the game. And I became a handyman. And here I am charging just as much. Instead of complaining, sitting on my ass, I took charge, and I joined the crowd. So reason number two, guys, and that is people want their free time. All these people with their PhDs in liberal arts and left-hand puppetry, they work in offices, in the AC, all day long, every day. They don't have any free time. The only free time they get is usually the weekends or holidays. The last thing they want to do in their free time is to do housework. Patch a hole in the wall, change a door, change a faucet, change a toilet. Oh, the roof is leaking. The last thing they want to do is get on the roof and fix it, even if it takes 5 minutes. For them, time is precious because you cannot get it back. They already hate their lives. They hate their jobs. Whatever free time they get is precious. So they would rather call a handyman like myself to fix their problems because it's worth it to them. And the funny thing is, yes, I'm charging a lot of money, but I'm just charging as much as people are willing to pay in my area. And I can tell you, I am cheaper than most people in my area. Even though you think my prices are high, they are not the highest. I'm right in the middle. But yeah, so a lot of my customers, they work every day and they just don't want to bother. For them, the time, their free time is more important. They would rather go work an entire week to pay me for a day's work rather than doing it themselves. That is how crazy the world is that we live in. Don't blame me, blame society. And reason number three is the shortage of contractors, handymen, plumbers, electricians. You know why there is a shortage? Well, I just mentioned you a few reasons why. One is people don't want to use their hands to make money. Two, people don't want to sweat. Three is the society that we live in. When you go to school, everybody wants to be a doctor. Everybody wants to be a lawyer. Everybody wants to get into debt for hundreds of thousands of dollars, work non-stop every single day, 9-to-5 job, mindless work, be miserable for their entire lives, maybe make tons of money, and hoping to retire and spend that money, but by then they're too old to spend it. That's the life they want. That's the life society tells you need to live. They want you to be an employee. They want you to make somebody else rich. They don't want you to be an employer. They don't want you to be self-sufficient. They don't want you to be your own boss. Because people who are their own bosses, they think for themselves. It's harder to control people who are self-sufficient. That goes against the agenda, if you know what I'm talking about. And also, a lot of people look down on handyman because they have this stereotype that a handyman is unskilled, drunk, like super fat, like 500,000 pounds. They can only do like simple work that a homeowner, that everybody can do, but they choose not to do it. And that's the mentality for most people when they hear handyman. And that's why they think that I should not be making as much money as they make. When somebody asks you, what do you do for a living? Most of you are going to say, oh, I work for Microsoft. Oh, I work for Intel. I am a specialist. I have a title. I work in an office in the AC all day. Nobody wants to say I am a handyman. I don't care what people think of me. I am a licensed contractor in the state of Arizona. I call myself a handyman because I feel like it. I can relate to people a lot more when I say I am a handyman. When people go online and they're looking for work, for somebody to work at their house, and they see licensed contractor and they see handyman, well, guess what? When they see licensed contractor, they automatically see thousands of dollars they're gonna be having to spend to hire a licensed contractor. But when they see handyman, they're looking for somebody to do small work at their house, and they think it's a lot more affordable. I specialize in the smaller jobs. My jobs usually take a few days the most. I can do drywall, I can do roofing, I can do some flooring. I hate doing flooring, but I do it. I can install your kitchen cabinets, I can install counters. I can do backsplash, I can do all your ceiling fans in your house, I can do all your recessed lights. I can change your toilet. I can install your shelves. I can fix your water leak. I can do a lot of things around your house, and that is what most people are looking for when they're looking for somebody online to do work at their house. And that's why I call myself a handyman. But most people, when they hear handyman, they just think of somebody that is drunk, extremely overweight, unskilled, probably somebody that just got out of jail, driving a beater. Their tools consist of maybe a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver and maybe a drill from Harbor Freight. And that's what most people think of a handyman. You can think whatever you think of me, but as long as you pay me, you can call me whatever you want. But that is the main reason why there is a shortage of handymen out there. Contractors, whatever you want to call them. Because people don't think highly of them. People are embarrassed to go into our line of work because we use our hands to make a living. But because of that, there is a shortage. And because there is a shortage, I'm able to make just as much as a doctor. And sometimes even more. Alright guys, check this out. By profession, I am an EMT. I was a combat medic in the military, so not only I was an EMT, I was working at a nurse's level and sometimes even at doctor's level. And what do I mean by that? Well, I worked in an ER for many years. I was able to intubate people. I was able to suture people. I was able to do a lot of the things that even the nurses couldn't do. I lived a life and I hated it. Yes, people in the healthcare sector, they can make tons of money. Tons of money. The doctor at the ER was making $500 an hour. But that doctor worked 12-hour shifts every single day. Because guess what? There's a shortage of doctors too. And then when he was off, he was on call. So he was never literally off. He hated his life. His family hated him because he was never home. He was divorced twice, the doctor that I knew. He just was stressed all the time. His hair was falling off. He just hated his life. But yeah, he was making doctor's pay. Money that he couldn't even spend because he was working all the time. And guess what? I remember talking to him all the time. And then he'll say, I'll retire and then I'll move away and live the life, peaceful life, spend my money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, when is that going to happen? When you're too old to spend your money, by then what's the point of making that much money? So I'm like, you know what? I know all sides. I know the side of the homeowner thinking that handymen are ripping them off. I work in the healthcare sector, so I know what that life is like. I don't want to live that life. It's miserable. So now, I became a handyman. I saw the opportunity. I needed some work done on my house. It was very hard to find people to work in my house. I saw how expensive they were, or at least I thought at the time. And then I'm like, you know what? I can do that. And if I just show up, look presentable, do the work that I say I'm going to do, and guarantee it, I'm way ahead of my competition. And if I just do that, I can make tons of money. And guess what? I did. Yeah, the jobs are slow right now, but guess what? I'm not starving. I'm not on the streets. I'm not homeless. I'm not going to let myself get to that point. If it got to that point, I will do whatever it takes to make a living. Whatever it takes. I'm not going to sit on my ass judging other people on YouTube who are smarter than I am making the money. I will look at them and actually I'm going to be like, if that guy can do it, so can I. That is how I live my life now. That is the only reason I have this YouTube channel. That is the only reason I have this job. And I got all kinds of other things going for me as well. Not because I had that jealous mentality. I refuse to think that way. Instead, I learn from those people and I get inspiration from those people and I go out there and get it done. But anyways, guys, that is how I'm able to charge what I charge. So I have a $125 minimum charge. That is a minimum charge for me to show up at somebody's house. But that doesn't mean that I'm not working. That usually covers the first hour. And that usually is for small jobs where, people have a lot of little things going on. That's going to take maybe 1 to 2 hours, and that's how much I charge. For most items at people's houses, I have flat rates. And for most people, I can do an estimate over the phone so they know exactly how much they're going to be paying before I even get to their houses. And I don't charge by the hour, I charge by the job. Because a lot of people out there, they always compare what they make to what I make. And you can read my comments and you can see that I'm right. Always comparing what they make to what I make. They never think about, oh, he's on a truck. Oh, he needs to pay for gas. Oh, he has insurance. Oh my God, his license. Oh yeah, that's not free. Oh, he has tools. Thousands of dollars worth of tools in his truck. Oh my God. Yeah, people don't think about that. That is worth money. If you don't like it, get off your ass and become a handyman instead of hating on us. But anyways, guys, as always, if you like the video, don't forget to like it. I keep it real here, guys. I'm not making anything up. That's the main reason why I started this YouTube channel, to show people how easy it is to get into this line of work and how much money you can actually make. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that, and I will see you next time.